Here at British Jewelry, we have the good fortune of being joined by Alexander Schmidt, the president of the Americas for Vacheron Constantin, to present the new novelties for the 270th anniversary of the brand. Alexander, thank you so much for joining me.
Great pleasure.
Absolutely. Obviously, this year is a very important year for you guys, 270-year anniversary. That is unbelievable, right? For really any company in general, just to achieve that landmark. But to be in the watch industry and to be as accomplished as Vacheron is nothing short of spectacular.
So yes, it's an extremely important year for us. I think the important part of the 270 years is not the fact that we are 270 years old and we are the oldest watch manufacturer, because then you risk of becoming like a dusty museum. I think the important part about it is that we are still here today after 270 years, and it's all about tradition and innovation, which are the two sides of the same coin. The tradition of today was the innovation of the past, and I think the reason why Vacheron is celebrating its 270th anniversary is because over the last 270 years, the Maison was able to reinvent itself, innovate, create the tradition of the future, and that's why we're here today. I think that's what we are celebrating. I mean, that's also the main theme of the anniversary.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you definitely see this in the releases of the novelties this year, right? I think Vacheron has a great way of paying respect to the past, your heritage in terms of complication, but also in terms of forms, right? The artistry. But I think what we see here is more so a tribute to kind of the present and potentially the future of Vacheron, right? Paying tribute with classical complications, but made really in the 21st century.
Sure.
Was that kind of the overarching theme of the collection this year?
The overarching theme of the Maison, of the anniversary in general, is the quest and the quest for excellence. That means our quest for technical innovation, the quest for craftsmanship, the quest for doing better if possible, and that's always possible. So that's our overarching theme, and that's what's reflected in how we're gonna celebrate the anniversary, but also in the collections. And you will see this very well, this balance between tradition, innovation, dedication to craftsmanship. And the beauty of this is that the theme of the quest is actually, can you say declinated? In French, you say décliné. It's actually played across the collections from entry price point to super, even ultra complications.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess let's not
hold
on any further. Yeah, let's take a look at some of that novelty.
Let's see where we can.
2020.
As we said, the anniversary theme really is transversal across our collections. Focus will be on classics, and we start with the traditional artistry, and you have a simple tool-and watch, hour, minute, second, date, but with exactly the same theme of the anniversary and the rest of the collection. You see actually there are two parts mostly. One is the dial, so we have a specific decoration, anniversary decoration on the dial. Very subtle, coming out of the Maltese cross, emanating from the Maltese cross and really creating beautiful reflections of light, really making the dial alive. Subtle, not in your face, but really a unique and special decoration of the dial. And we also get a step further when you turn the watch around, because we have a dedicated decoration on the movement, only for the anniversary pieces. We call them Côte Unique. Traditional decoration on the movement is the Geneva, the Côte de Genève, the Geneva stripes. This is a decoration that we have actually discovered 4 years ago, where we restored the American 21, the original American 21 from Plant 21, where we discovered this very unique decoration on the movement, almost like a finger, very subtle in round shapes. We decided to bring this decoration actually back to life. And all the movements on the anniversary collection, from the basic automatic to high complications, are decorated with this Côte Unique. You have the same on Traditionnel, where you actually see beautifully on the manual line movement. And each of the movement also has the emblem of the 270th anniversary for these events. All of the anniversary pieces are limited to these ones here, limited to 370 pieces. A little bit of a how we say, type tongue-in-cheek, because we're already anticipating the 370th anniversary in 100 years. So 370 pieces limited in white coat and a gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful timepieces in front of us. I think this really showcases not just, I think, the technical mastery, right? Going back to your heritage and your kind of your roots, right? With the new unique finishing on the bridges here, but also just the simplicity of these watches that are taken to the next level, right? I think it just simplifies and creates a design that is so unique within a lineup, obviously, that is existing and that is a core collection for Vacheron, but really taken to the next level and elevated from the anniversary.
You always say from a design perspective, to make a simple watch beautiful is the most complicated thing.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
And I think those two in Vacheron and Traditionnel are perfect adapts.
Absolutely. Of course, this isn't your only releases, right? These are the more simple timepieces, but we did get into the collections where we're getting a lot more complications from it.
So Vacheron, we have always been about the technicity, innovation, and complications. We have a beautiful set of 2 limited editions of 2 weak complications in patrimony. The patrimony retrograde moon phase. Retrograde is a highlight complication with signature complication of Vacheron. You can see more of that in the complication that I'm going to show you after. Here you see this very classical retrograde date with the moon phase on the patrimony with the same design, anniversary, specific dial decoration, and the same cardinals.
Okay. Absolutely gorgeous. I think, again, these really just showcase not just the watchmaking mastery of Vacheron, but also your ability to design unique forms, right? I think one thing that distinguishes Vacheron from every other brand in the industry is you guys are very artistic, right? You look at the forms of your cases, your lugs, your dials, the way that you finish your movements. It's really unlike anything else, and I think it's perfectly showcased in the first kind of collection that we've shown off here today.
You're absolutely right that we call this classic vintage.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, now we're going to get into probably what I would say are the real masterpieces of these collections.
So now we work our way up. We come to a set of high complications, especially for the anniversary. They share the same design codes and the classic pieces, but take it a step further on the movement as well as on the dial. Because here we have 3 complications, open worked. You have a hand gear-shaped part of the anniversary design of the dial on the upper part, and then you see the beauty of the movement of the dial. So 3 complications. The tourbillon retrograde, and a watch that we already introduced 2 years ago, but now in a completely different look at design. We have the full calendar, also existing today already in the collection, was called white gold, but with the open work design, very, very different aesthetic and new aesthetic. And highlights here, especially as a new perpetual calendar, completely new calendar. We spoke about before that retrograde being a signature complication of Vacheron. Here you have a retrograde perpetual calendar with the anniversary design, open work to see the beauty of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 3 phenomenal timepieces. If you look at the designs of these, right, they're very, very unique again. It's unlike anything you'll see really from anybody in the watch industry. When it comes to Vacheron timepieces, where does your eye for design really come from? Is it from kind of your heritage, or is it just pushing boundaries and creating new forms that have never been seen before?
I think where it really comes from is from the 270 years of heritage. Today, you can buy a lot of things. You buy brand names, you can buy factories, you can buy, to a certain extent, you can even buy or hire people. What you cannot buy is really a continuous heritage of 270 years. And what I mean by that is that today we have people that work at Vacheron. We always say we are standing on the shoulders of giants. People who built the brand over 270 years, but we have a continuous line going back to Jean-Marc Vacheron. Somebody always met somebody who actually knew Jean-Marc Vacheron from the beginning. We have a continuous line, and this ingrained feeling for watch design, what you can do, what you cannot do. That's, I think, something that's really unique, and that's the strength of these 270 years of heritage. Is probably one of the very few things that you cannot buy because it has to be ingrained.
Yeah, it has to be earned, not given, right?
And that's actually something that influences what we do here, because tradition, innovation, they have 2 sides of the same coin. But it's important to know, on a classic watch here, how much can you make it modern in design and looks, but stay close to the traditional spirit of the piece. But these ones here keep it very, very impacted.
Yeah, absolutely. It mixes complications, but really with a modern design. And I think, again, it's unlike anything we've seen from the brand or from really anybody else in the industry. And I think you guys knocked it out of the park without question. Of course, these are all incredible complications, but I think the last one is really that incredible piece, combining all of these.
There was one on top. So we launched here one new calendar with one new category with the retrograde perpetual. And then we are actually putting gear warning clocks. Also a complete new caliber, completely moving, which is the tourbillon perpetual. Very classic layout, very classic look. The beautiful large tourbillon on the center, the perpetual calendar with a very classic layout on top, as well like the other three all in black. Really celebrate the anniversary.
This is just absolutely gorgeous. Again, with that incredible Maltese cross motif on the dial. And one thing that I absolutely love also is your use of the peripheral rotor, right? On traditional complications like this, typically they're going to be manually winding, right? Obviously, adding an automatic kind of mechanism adds to the degree of difficulty of the timepiece, but having it with a peripheral rotor really showcases, again, all the incredible artistic finishing that Vacheron is known for. Is this something that you guys really pay close attention to, right? Not just, obviously, again, the finishing of the watch, but also user friendliness, it being an automatic grand complication.
Well, as you say, tourbillons or any complication you want to admire and move. On the other hand, for practicality, automatic, it's more practical. I specifically like to wind my manual one watch every morning, but automatic gives you a certain level of practicality. So the trade-off that normally you have is that you have a rotor, either a micro rotor or a full rotor covers part of the movement. That's why on purpose we developed that mechanism with this peripheral rotor, which allows you to see the beauty of the movement. You have the benefit of the automatic. In addition to that, it allows you to make the construction slimmer because it's embedded into the movement. So that's exactly one of the reasons why we created this tourbillon movement with the automatic with the peripheral rotor.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful timepiece, and again, very user friendly in the sense that you can actually wear this timepiece every single day and enjoy the beauty of the movement, and of course on the dial side, the incredible Maltese cross tourbillon hinge. Now, of course, I think what stole the show this year is the grand complication that you guys released, the most complicated wristwatch ever created. I think 41 complication over 1,500 components.
Yeah.
I guess when it comes to pushing the boundaries of watchmaking, that's always been a focus for Vacheron, obviously releasing the Berkeley Octawatch a couple of years ago. When it comes to, I guess, showcasing a piece like this, is it really to showcase just how much you guys invest your time and efforts to kind of pushing the boundaries, or is it really just to show, hey, look, this is what we can do?
It's to show the prowess of the Maison. Technical innovation always has been in the roots of the Maison. You can go back in our history. We presented the most complicated pocket watch in the 1920s with a Tuat. Then over the last 10 years, we had the 57-6A, the most complicated pocket watch in 2015. We then introduced the Celestia, the most complicated astronomical watch in, I think, 2017 or 18. We introduced the Twin Beat with a unique
Power reserve.
Unique power reserve perpetual. Last year, the Berkeley. So it's always a good mix between pocket watch, wristwatch, pocket watch. So this year it was time for a new wristwatch. That's why the Solaria comes in place. And it's about, yes, of course, to show what we are able to do. Perfectly for the anniversary, that's the right moment to do. But it goes beyond that because these watches, they actually also like a research lab. The Solaria took 8 years of development. There is so much innovation in it that it will benefit future collections. Some of these innovations will true. So for us, it's really a very proud moment to share at the anniversary such an achievement, but it will also help us to develop and grow the Maison technically collection.
Absolutely. Last question, and I'll let you go here. I wanted to ask you, obviously 270 years, we see an amazing array of new releases. Is there anything else to look forward to the rest of the year?
Sure, we never stop. The 270s will be a whole year celebration. We started in January with the 222 steel. We are presenting you some very nice pieces here at Watches and Models, and we're going to continue to celebrate the year until the end of the year is over.
Amazing. I can't wait to see what comes next.
So stay tuned.
Absolutely. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like the video, subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Alexander, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All the new novelties. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Thank you again for watching.
Thank you.